In 1970, President Richard Nixon signed the National Environmental Policy Act and announced he was going to form a group to clean the environment. Concern was rising over the increasing amount of pollution in the United States, which was becoming a growing problem. On December 2, 1970, the Environmental Protection Agency was created to oversee the dilemma of the climate changes and oil spills in the great bodies of water. The establishment of this agency was a milestone in governmental responsibility to enforce the human right of regenerating our environment. Since then, the EPA has been working for a more pure, vigorous environment for American citizens. The 1960s was a time of social change. In 1962, Rachel Carson's Silent Spring hit bookshelves. This book became a notoriety after its achievement of making the New York Times bestseller list. It alerted society to the pesticides that were terminating the land, in particular the use of dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, commonly referred to as DDT. The pesticide was causing harm to animals, including the extinction of bird species. DDT also had adverse effects on humans by causing cancer and liver damages. Opponents of Silent Spring attacked Carson personally. They accused her of being radical, disloyal, unscientific, and hysterical. They were angry because she accused government officials of withholding information about potentially harmful substances from the public. This led to Carson testifying before Congress on the use of these pesticides, where she called for new policies to protect human health and the environment. Carson brought a realization to the American public on how the environment was depleting away. Silent Spring made an extraordinary impact on the people's conscience about the environment and became the catalyst for the American environmental movement. For years prior to Silent Spring, our country's local governments had attempted to take responsibility to pass environmental laws to keep drinking water clean. As our country grew, so did cities. With this growth came additional concerns: more landfills, factories, mining, and drilling. After World War II, the nation saw an increase in the use of throwaway packages, cans, bottles, and paper products, contributing to the pollution problem. At the same time, construction of the interstate highway system meant more cars on the roads, which produced more smog from auto emissions. Factories spewed black smoke and deposited waste into clean lakes and streams where organisms lived. This was legal because there were no laws opposing it. Another major problem with the environment is the abhorrent oil spills, most notorious at the time being the one that occurred off the coast of Santa Barbara, California in 1969. Even the Midwest was not exempt with its polluted, oily, foul Great Lakes. Among Ohio's worst natural waterways was the Cuyahoga River. In June 1969, the river caught fire because of the polluted waters.
The water would look like it had an oily sheen on it almost all the time, or it would be a weird color.
The fire caught the attention of the public, who became more concerned about the pollution in the environment.
Internationally, the Cuyahoga River fire set a picture of, this is kind of bad, maybe we should do something about it.
By 1970, it was evident that the government needed to take more responsibility to create and enforce laws to protect the environment. The goal was to rectify the damage already done to the environment and to ensure better protection in years to come. As a response, the Environmental Protection Agency was formed. The EPA had abundant responsibilities, including working with state and local governments to improve air quality, reducing lead, encourage recycling, reduce global warming, protect human health, conduct educational research, administer the Superfund, protect the ozone, regulate pesticide use, care for and respond to the occurring number of oil spills, and much more. The EPA's first office administrator, William D. Ruckelshaus, hired the leaders, made plans, and decided which of these important tasks needed done.
We will have sworn in the first head of a new agency. I think we have here the best man for this new job that we could find.
I, William D. Ruckelshaus, do solemnly swear.
He was determined to enforce government, industry, and citizen compliance of environmental regulation.
Where we have found real, sustained success is where there are strong citizen organizations.
First on his list were the cities of Atlanta, Detroit, and Cleveland. These cities were given 180 days to adhere to water quality standards and stop dumping pollutants into the water. The organization of the EPA made a great deal of improvement on reducing pollution and waste in our environment, and advancement in the enforcement of new and old laws. In doing so, they created the Clean Air Act and Clean Water Act. The Clean Air Act reminds citizens about the risks of pollution to human health and describes responsibilities to uphold the environment. The Clean Water Act protects our environment by reducing lead in our streams, lakes, and other bodies of water. These acts have had numerous benefits and are just two of the many policies the EPA has enacted to improve the environment in its 40-plus years of existence.
If you look at air quality and water quality, it's probably better than it was in the 70s in lots of places.
The formation of the EPA has had an impact on our society. Their goal of making a difference is being achieved. The EPA has strived to set laws to enforce the human responsibility to keep our earth clean. Throughout its history, the EPA has enacted more policies and regulations that have drastically increased our environment's health. Policies such as the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act placed controls on hazardous waste, while the Clean Air Act lowered 6 common pollutants: particles, ozone, lead, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, as well as other toxic pollutants. The EPA oversaw the banning of DDT in 1972 and has also banned many toxins harming the environment that were found in everyday products. Air quality has been improved through the EPA's effort to create an advanced network of sewage treatment systems to reduce raw sewage in waterways and redesigning landfills to prevent the solid waste system from getting contaminated. The agency also oversaw the cleanup of the Great Lakes, which supplies drinking water to millions of Americans. The EPA has had a successful impact through their educational efforts and support of Earth Day activities. Citizens have a substantial amount of responsibilities to protect the environment. Since the first Earth Day on April 22, 1970, people have helped to clean up their society so that everyone can live in a healthier environment. Citizens feel that helping the earth on this day is a way to give back to something that has given them so much. All species have the right to a clean, safe environment in which to live. Protecting the environment is a moral responsibility of all humans. The establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency has had many exceptional effects, such as reducing the extent of pollution and banning pesticides like DDT to prevent Earth and its inhabitants from being harmed. They have made many wrongs right, and they have excelled most of their responsibilities. Everyone doing their share and fulfilling their responsibilities can help the environment more than anyone can imagine and make our planet a better place to live.
Chances